Hey y'all, it's Kelly here with Kelly Crafts It All. Today I'm going to work on my 4x4, or my 4-in-1 album. You know, these little albums, and like I said, this is not my original idea. I'll link the video down below to the original one that I did, but Michelle Allen is the creator of this. I just redid it. I had someone request that I do a tutorial because they learn from me easier, so I did. But I had another question on the album, and Miss Carol, who is one of my followers, said she was having a hard time doing the layout using the 12x12 papers. That when she cut them, you know, they're not staying in the orientation. Well, I understand her problem completely, because the page itself is 6x6. So, you know, to cut that down and leave yourself a border, you do have to cut some off. This is where you kind of have to pick your poison in how you want it to lay. I went ahead and I did one. I don't have a whole lot of 12x12s that have, you know, solid mats like this, but I had to go in and trim some off, and I didn't leave a very big border. I left this, you know, I'd leave just as tiny as a border as I could get away with. And, you know, like I had to cut some of my gold off in just a little sliver on the inside, because mine was a little more plain in the middle. So if you've got it plain in the center, now I probably wouldn't use one that had words, because if you know, if you do, you're going to have to trim the outside edges, not your inside. But you just kind of have to pick your poison on what you want to trim up. So I will go over how I did mine. Now I have this piece here, and this is, you know, 12x12. And this is, like I said, I would try to find paper that didn't have, if you know, if it had a really pretty edge on it or something, you know, maybe avoid those types. Like the one that Miss Nova made for me in my Halloween album. You know, a lot of hers are kind of plain as well, you know, around her edges and stuff. So, you know, it's like, you just kind of gotta pick your poisons and how you want to, you know, cut them to keep it, you know, all in one. Did I flip the page wrong? Let's see, so, I mean, she did leave a good sized border, and then she did do some decorative punches on the corners. So, you know, it's so, you know, that it looks like it belongs. It's, you know, that's why I said you gotta kind of pick your paper, pick your poison, which way you want to cut it. But I will cut mine, and I will show you. And then I do have one that has some words on it, and I'm going to give it a try just to see how it would work. But what I started out doing was, get this out of my way. I just cut it 6x6 to begin with. So I put this in my trimmer, and I cut this at 6x6. And if you need to number them to keep the orientation straight, you can. I'm just going to do them. Like so. Get my little book back out. Make sure I've got my pages flipped right and I don't have two stuck together. So it depends on how you want it to go. If you want it to go like, you know, if you're doing it like that where it's in the center, I mean, that's how, you know, you could do it that way. Or if you want to, if you're doing the, maybe the layout to be on here, you could. Now this is where you're getting kind of risky, where your pattern might not line up exact and it kind of looks off. So actually the further away you keep them, the better it is, because you don't really notice it much. So all I did was I just went in and I trimmed off maybe 1/8 of an inch on each corner, or, you know, on my outside edges. So I just came in here and I don't know if y'all can see me trimming, but I mean, I'm sure y'all know what, I mean, I'm just take off the slightest amount that I can. To make it easier on myself and for y'all to see, I'll put a piece of black paper. Now see, I have barely any border, but that's fine, you know, that works. So that's how I would do mine. I would cut off my outside edges first, see what I could get away with on that, and then if I needed to cut any here, I would try not to. I'd try to keep everything cut on my outside edges. So, and once again, I'm going to cut off the littlest bit. Oh, about that much, not very much. So I'm trying to cut off just little bits at a time. And I might have to trim a little bit more. Maybe my, you know, page wasn't exactly 6 by 6, or I didn't cut it straight or something. So like I said, this is where you gotta kind of pick your poison and decide which way you wanna cut it. And with, you know, this pattern being the way that it is, it's not really hurting anything for me to trim them little tiny slivers off. So, Miss Carol, I hope that helps you. I'm not sure if it does or not, but I hope it does. I'm going to just set those aside for a minute. Alright. Sorry about the noise. I'm just trying to tear this off. Now I have this one as words. This is take the time to make your heart happy. And I can't tell you the name of this paper pad because I've used it and used it. I've lost the top off of it, and I received this in a swap. Oh my goodness, probably a year and a half ago or more. But it was one of the hot buys. So I think that's Michael's. I don't remember, and I don't know for sure because I don't really get to go into them craft stores because I don't have any. I have them around me, but it's like an hour or 2 hour drive to get to one of them craft stores, and they don't sell them online very often. It usually always says cannot, you know, can't ship it. So, but here's this one. So it's got words. So like I said, I would go ahead and cut mine 6 by 6. I'm just gonna double it up. You don't have to. I'm just going to save a second of time. So, let's see here. I'm gonna that one out, so I would come up here and, you know, do your layout there. And like I said, if you're going to use the words, now this one I wouldn't touch. This inside edge, I would cut everything off of my outside edge so that this stayed with a tiny little edge. And I would, like I said, I would cut this outside part. Then that way, you know, your words would stay more cohesive. Try to get this where I can get it to where you could see it. And I would use the slightest border possible, if any. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You could actually cut it, you know, to fit, which would probably look even better, maybe, you know. Now, me, I wouldn't use words because it really just chops it up and it makes it hard to even know what it was trying to say. Now, I know what it says because I had the whole sheet, but if somebody else is getting this and they don't know what it's supposed to say, it just, you know, it don't look right. So this might be one that you would want to use kind of over here where they're a little closer together. You know, a little bit, but me personally, I wouldn't use the words. It's just really kind of hard. I'd use more of my picture, you know, type things. So, that's it, Carol. I hope that helps. Like I said, I would just, you know, keep trimming off your outside edges. Don't go inside unless you absolutely have to. Like I said, you know, the images I have are so minute that if I took off, you know, a tiny sliver on the inside, it's not really noticeable. You know, you just gotta, you know, pick what you want to use for your pages. But that is how I would do mine, or how I am going to do mine. Like that. Okay. Alright, I hope that helps. You know, it doesn't really do a whole lot of embellishing. I'll show you Nova's again, give you some inspiration. You know, she's kept everything, you know, pretty flat. This has a little tiny bump up on it, but it's not real high. So, you know. She's kept everything pretty flat, and then she's just kind of enhanced things with glitter and glossy accents and stuff like that. So this is how hers is set up, and it looks like she did the same thing. She just kind of trimmed more on her outside edges, and then you know, kept her middle. If she had something like this, you know, she kept that more intact. So, and she inked her edges and stuff, but like she did, she just kept up, you know, a little teeny weeny, a tiny border on most of them. And then these ones look like they were just, you know, solid 12 by 12s, you know, she just cut. And the same with those, you know, they were just, you know, some more pattern paper, you know, all over. Maybe the back side of this or something. But that is how I would do mine if I were going to, or when, you know, when I'm decorating mine. I always do this. I always flip this backwards, and I don't know why. And yeah, that's it. That's how I would do mine, or that's how I'm going to do mine. And you know, I'll show this when I get it all done and everything. But yeah, I just, you know, you know, just take off on your outside edges, and you start off cutting it 6 by 6 to start, so that your things in the center are, you know, there. Okay, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here and go work on my book and work on my swap. The time is getting short here, and I've got to get my swap going. And oh, I've got it going. I've just got to work on it more. Trying to find new things to do. You know, you get tired of sending the same old thing over and over, so trying to find something different to send. So, alright guys, you take care, you stay safe out there. Remember, I love each and every one of you. Hit that like, subscribe, and share if you would like. And I want to thank all my subscribers for being here and supporting my channel. And alright guys, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.